Now, I know that you guys have a cookbook that is coming out. We're going to be talking all food-related stuff today. Tell us about the new cookbook.
Well, it's called Al Roker's Recipes to Live By, but it was actually Courtney's idea. A little more than a year and a half ago, I was not doing well. Wasn't any secret, my health was a little shaky. And I think one of the things Courtney thought would be a good idea was to give me something to look forward to. So she asked and told me two things. She first told me that she was expecting our first grandchild, now little Sky. Yep. And she said, why don't we do a cookbook together? You and Nick, my son, during the pandemic, you were cooking and doing all this stuff. And people were really responding. So I think you should do a cookbook.
Yeah, it was great. You know, during the pandemic, I saw that he was getting a lot of traction online with Deb and Nick, and you know, everyone loved your recipes, so I thought, let's just do a cookbook. And it's been like 20 years since your last cookbook.
Yeah.
So a lot of upgrades. There's actually pictures in this one. And
what was interesting is Courtney's a professional chef.
Yeah.
You know, she works for a private chef company. And so I said, listen, you can do this, we can do this, but you're going to have to do the real work.
Yeah, and I was like 8 months pregnant. So it was a lot, but there's, you know, doing the recipes and eating all the food. So I was super happy because pregnant me and eating food. But yeah, it was great, and the outcome's awesome.
And you know, the idea is, the basis of the book is that they're recipes that I've grown up with, that I've come up with, that our friends cook, that some of our chef friends cook. And what was impressive was, especially with the family recipes, I don't know about you, Astrid, but you find that like your mom or your grandmom or your auntie, it's like ancestral measurements. They don't, you know,
it's a pinch of this,
and a little in,
little
and
that.
it's by taste or look or feel. And Courtney had to she was basically like a recipe detective coming up with this stuff.
Yeah, so, you know.
So almost like recreating the recipes.
Right.
Just to make sure it came out the way you wanted it to taste.
Yep, all off of taste alone, you know, because I had no measurements, and like I said, lots of food. So my husband was happy and I was happy. So yeah.
And the baby was happy.
Yeah.
Now, Al, I know you mentioned your health scare. How are you doing now?
I'm doing great. You know, look, one of the things that out of every terrible thing, really great things can happen. And I found out about the power of, I think, collective good wishes and prayer from people, of having good children to take care of you. A wife, Deborah Roberts, who's on ABC News, all were able to help me only concentrate on getting better. And so, all the folks who were out there sending well wishes and prayers. And, you know, you get your life back together, and you also realize what's important. You know, your family, your dear friends, your health. And so a lot of good has come out of that.
And what changes have you made to make sure to keep your health on track now?
You know, I've always tried to, you know, stay active, you know, especially as we age. Movement and activity is really important. So, but I've also come to the realization that, you know, and it's been no secret, I've always struggled with my weight. I had a gastric bypass, but that deprivation never works. So that the trick is about moderation and about making things a little more healthy, but you know, from time to time you're going to indulge, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And are some of these recipes in the cookbook of your new diet that you're eating?
Well, not really. Yeah, you put in like a vegetarian.
There's a couple of veggie recipes, but there's lots of bacon in it.
There's bacon, there's meat, but you know, we put in some like salads and things like that, just so my wife Deborah can say, I can say, oh look, sweetie, there's so many healthy things here.
Now, are there any like recipes you guys did not put into the cookbook that you wish that you may have now looking back at it before it comes out?
You're a big barbecue guy,
Yeah.
so there's basically no barbecue recipes in there, but maybe for another cookbook.
Yeah, you know, and like I've come very late to the party, but enjoy the smash burger, and so I've been doing that. So that might come in there a little bit later, and there were some other family desserts that we didn't get in, but you know, I think we eat enough that there's You couldn't get everything in. I mean,
not.
it would have been like the joy of cooking. Yeah, it would have been one of
It
those.
would have been an encyclopedia.
Exactly,
thick book.
exactly. We want people, so we're hoping that you'll all go out and buy this. In fact, I would suggest buying 2 copies of Al Roker's.
Or 5.
But start
For the
with
whole family.
Yeah, one for everybody,
Yeah.
but also one to keep pristine as a collector's item for yourself. Al Roker's Recipes to Live by Al Roker. And
Me, Courtney. Roker Laga, yeah.
I mean, listen, it could be a good holiday gift.
Oh, it's a fantastic holiday
It's
gift.
coming out-
Whatever holiday you've got.
Right.
Whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus.
Yes.
Feats of strength and the airing of grievances.
Yes.
You can complain about that the food isn't good. Well, use this book and get that out of the way.
I mean, the book's coming out October 15th,
Yes.
just in time for the New York Wine and Food Festival.
Yes.
We are so excited to be attending. You guys are going to be there.
Yes.
Can you walk us through some of the things that we can expect from you?
Walk us through.
Oh.
Come on, start walking.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we have a master class. So we get to teach a couple of people how to cook some steaks.
It's like almost 24 people.
Yeah. So one-on-one class, and then
And in fact, they get food and a
book.
chicken and a book.
Yeah.
An
Signed?
signed book,
Signed.
autographed book.
And then we have the demo, the main demo in Brooklyn.
That's right. Same day?
It is the same
Yeah, it's
day, yes.
Yes. So you go on the website and check it out. And we're doing a signing after the demo.
Nice.
We're making oxtail.
We're doing oxtail stew and dumplings.
My mother.
I was just going to ask what is on the menu.
Yeah, we're doing oxtail stew and dumplings. It was one of my favorite dishes my mom used to make.
That sounds good. I have had oxtail, and it's
Yeah.
really good
so
if it's
good.
made properly.
Well, and this is, you will make this properly if you get this book. It takes a little time, but it's worth. Most of the recipes are relatively quick,
Yeah.
but this one takes a little time. And it's funny because I always remember my mother, God rest her soul. I came home once. And she was like angry. I said, what? And she was cooking the oxtail. I said, Mom, why are you upset? And she goes, these chefs on the Food Network, they keep talking about oxtails, and now oxtails are through the roof. Used to be able to buy oxtails for almost next to nothing. I said, hey, whoa, Izzy, back off. And that's because a lot of family cooking, especially ethnic family cooking, depending on no matter where you're from, was basic cooking, and it was not the finest cuts of meat. It was the stuff that was cheaper, but they home chefs learned how to braise and to cook and make those tougher cuts of meat more tender by braising, and at the end of the day, that's what you remember most.
So is your infamous oxtail recipe in the book?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you had to kind of.
I know, I went through a lot of oxtails, but it was great. It's kind of like braised short ribs, it's cooked in wine and beef broth, but you just add some dumplings at the end. And it's great.
Yeah. My mom never cooked with wine, but she did do the dumplings.
I mean, it is the Wine and Food Festival.
It
You're
is.
going to have to incorporate
That's
the wine
right.
and the food.
Yes, exactly. So this you've done a wonderful job doing that.
Oh, thank you.
That's incredible. Now, what advice could you give to somebody who may not have the best cooking skills but wants to try to make something to impress somebody?
I think most important for me is to taste as you go and season as you go. So like if you're cooking vegetables for a stew, you want to season every single vegetable. So like you have onions, you season it. Add the celery, you season it. I think that's super important.
The other thing I learned from her is, and again, she's worked in some of the best kitchens in the city, have all your stuff out already. Have everything done ready, so that you're in the middle of cooking, and all of a sudden I don't have.
You're not running around.
So I think that's important, and again, I think simple is, to me, if you, and there's a great recipe in the book from I think Judy Rogers from the Zuni Cafe out west. It's a roast chicken, but to me, it's the greatest roast. And it's greatest roast chicken you'll ever eat. And if you can perfect a roast chicken, people will beat a path to your door. It's a great Sunday dinner. It's simple, but it's
You're making me so hungry right now. Courtney, where did your love for cooking come from? Did you guys grow up? Did you grow up with him cooking, or did you just kind of decide when you got older, I just want to start cooking?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with seeing my dad, my parents, were separated, so I was with my dad some holidays and with my mom, and they both cooked a lot. So I definitely think I got that from you. Originally, I wanted to be a singer. That didn't really work out.
A lovely voice.
So
Well, you could be, the,
the
singing
singing
chef.
chef.
Woo! Oh my gosh.
Jinx.
I'm gonna change my Instagram to singing chef.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So I've always loved food, and then the singing thing didn't work out. So
Well, it's
You
never
never
too
really,
late.
you never really pursued
Never too
it.
late.
You never really pursued, but even as a little girl, we had a house, and I had planted a bunch of like edible flowers, but I didn't realize they were edible. And when she was about 6, and she would go out and pick the flowers and decorate the plate, and then years later, when she was in college and trying to figure out what am I going to do, and she said, "Dad, I think I want to go to culinary school," and the rest is history.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And the interesting thing is her daughter, my granddaughter Sky, who's 14 months old now, has a really good palate.
she loves everything.
Yeah,
That's
she really
great.
does.
Yeah. Except beets.
Yeah.
I mean, who likes beets?
I like if you
Oh,
roast
I don't
a
like
beet,
beets.
you roast beet. Here's the funny thing. So she'll eat broccoli, but she will only eat. She won't eat the little tree tops.
part.
She'll
She'll eat the
only
stem?
eat the
The
stem.
stem. Yeah.
That's weird. I know when I was growing up, I'd only eat the top, not the
Yeah.
stem.
Yeah.
But she's opposite. That's
She's just the
that's
opposite.
incredible.
When she was like 6, 7 months, I think, I gave her a lemon, half a lemon, and she just, and then just
She
went in
loved
on
it.
it and wouldn't let it go. Yeah. So she's got a
great palate.
Yes, she really does. More tart and savory, I think, than sweet.
My goodness. Well, we cannot wait to get our hands on that cookbook. And before we let you go, I want to say happy belated birthday
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
70.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah,
You had a
it's-
surprise party. How
That's
did
right.
everybody keep that a surprise from you?
Well, here's the thing. I knew there was a party because my wife Deborah said, "Okay, August 10th, don't plan anything." I said, "Okay," but I didn't know. Like I assumed
extent,
Courtney was
yeah.
going to be there, all the kids.
You could have sang.
I could have sang.
You could have. Deborah planned this thing where she surprised me with Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Wow.
They performed. They did a full concert, and you could have opened for Earth, Wind, and Fire. In fact, was it my 50th or I think it was my 50th.
Yeah.
That Deborah and he was a dear friend, Tony Bennett, performed. Courtney sang.
yeah, I sang with Tony
So she opened for Tony Bennett.
Not many people can say that
he
they
did
did
2 or
that.
3 songs, but she opened for Tony Bennett.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, good for you.
So there you
Well,
go.
of course, the New York City Wine and Food Festival kicks off here in New York City October 17th to the 20th. You guys are going to be there. Make sure you guys get out, get the cookbook. What's it called again?
Al Roker's Recipes to Live by Al Roker and
Courtney Roker Laga.
bang! Say it louder.
Courtney Roker Laga.
You don't have to do that.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys so much for coming to Page 6.
Thank you.